Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Friday, May the 13th. Yes, it is Friday the 13th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of our trading room, and this is the address to get into the room. It is a free room. I share my screen all day long, and I'm live on the mic between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Usually start the room at about quarter to 9, start sharing my screen and sort of prepping for the pre-market, and then again I'm live start at 9 o'clock. Now, if you'd like to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas, this is a link you can use. And the promo code, which is ending tonight at 11:30 Eastern Time, is Holly, Holly, all in capital letters, Holly 11. And that will get you great discounts off our monthly, our annual plus premium services. All right. Well, I'm a bit of a time constraint. I have some painters here, and they're going to want to start painting my room really soon. So I'm going to kind of whip through this, perhaps. But talk about a couple of the trades here. Nvidia was one that we were watching right from the get-go. Had tremendous earnings, I guess, and not I guess, I know. The market loved it anyway. Here's where it closed yesterday, $35, $35.50. And here's the post-market action yesterday, and then here's the pre-market action, and got as high as $39, and it didn't really take off that much after that. I did get into the trade here at 39.76. It broke over $40. I took some out at 40.18, stopped myself out at 39.89, got back into the trade at 40.34, a little bit late on the 40 break, and got out around 40.50. So, not what I would call a tremendous trade. Most of the damage, the good damage was already done here, but sometimes these things will still run, and you just never know. However, this was an interesting trade for me. FIS. And FIS came from let's make sure of this, the option, yep, early. FIS 944, the trigger was 7201. So the trigger was right here. Right about, well, you know what? I think if I there we go. There's the trigger right on this candle. So 7201. So I looked at this and I thought, wow, okay. First of all, I love the fact that it's just over the whole number. And I took the trade at 7210. Got into the trade at 7210. And it did a lot more than I thought it would. This is obviously some kind of a banking stock, and I thought, well, maybe it's going to be a little bit sleepy. I also looked at the daily, and if you look at the daily chart, you'll see that there's yesterday's high, 72.96. Notice how it just snuck up to yesterday's high, all right? But I thought this probably would be, a bit of a resistance area. So I wasn't expecting that much from this play, to be honest with you. But I definitely got a lot more, and in a quicker time period than I thought. So what did I do? I exited some at 72.34, right around here. And then, wow, this candle just zipped up to 72.82. I did not get out there. I got out some at 72.74 when it was coming back down. And then the balance at 72.50. Look how whippy this was, though. I mean, it came all the way. I mean, from a high of 72.82 down to 71. So there's a dollar. On a percentage basis, it's not that much, but probably, and that's about maybe 30 minutes, and very whippy. And now it's right back up. Definitely, the trend is still up, though this little bottoming tail might destroy that upward trend. But nonetheless, it was a great trade. I was quite surprised that it moved as much and as quickly as it did. Um, let's see what else. Skechers. This did not perform quite as well as I wanted it to, but what happened is that all of a sudden, all of the retailers, let me, JW, like Nordstrom was the one I missed. I was talking in the room and saying, you know what, if it gets over 39, this could be good, and it did that, and I just couldn't get it. I was chasing it at 39.33, 39.38, and I just gave up. I guess had I persisted, so it would have been an excellent trade, but Nordstrom's had horrible earnings. You can see it closed yesterday at $45, and off almost $10. The pre-market, is that pre-market? Let me just check that. Yeah, that's the post-market yesterday. So earnings release after the market closed yesterday, and it just got crushed. But like everything else, you always have to see if there's going to be some kind of a bounce play on it. And the interesting thing is that I was showing people this is that on my spider sector list, the let's see, the retail sector is right here, okay, XRT. But when I was watching it, what I do is I sort on what it's doing in the last 5 minutes. What is the sector doing in the last 5 minutes? And if this is green right over to the end here, that means it's at its high. It's at a 5 minute high, and it could be moving up and up. So I happen to notice that the retail sector, even though it's been beaten up, because there's a litany of stocks, Macy's, Nordstrom's, I mean, I think there are many stocks. I can't think of them off the top of my head anymore. Kohl's, they all just got absolutely beaten up. But all of a sudden, for whatever reason, the retail sectors just started catching a bid. So this is what really alerted me also to Nordstrom's. I thought, okay, Nordstrom's looks, but I missed it. However, Skechers was the same thing, SKX. Notice what it did. Now, I actually got alerted to this, and this is another part of our premium service, is right down here. Skechers was on the, see the RBI 5, red bar ignored 5. So in order to see it, I'll have to show you on a 5 minute time frame. And let me just click. And there it is. So I'll have to back it up just a little bit. So this is pattern recognition, all right? This is what we call the RBI red bar ignored on the 5 minute time frame, and it's pattern recognition. So what it's looking for, in order to get recognized, in order to get an alert, we need at least 4 consecutive green candles, all right? So that was satisfied. Then we have this green candle, red candle, green candle. And the red candle has to be totally engulfed by the previous green candle. And then if the next candle after this is green, which it was, it'll trigger right at the high of this red candle, which was 3168. It triggered right at the high of this candle. So I saw that and I thought, okay, interesting. And then I took a peek at my spiders list. Let me back this out over here. At the spiders list, and I saw that the retail sector was on the way up, was moving. I had seen that Nordstrom's was moving up. So I thought, okay, I'm getting in because this one is, obviously retail, Skechers is retail, and it was moving up. So I got in. Now, it just didn't move as dramatically as the Nordstrom's. KSS was another one that we saw. I mean, look at this move. I mean, this is just a fantastic move for these retail stocks. Now they're starting to come down again, but that's what we're trying to capture. I mean, I don't care about this, but if we see a sector is moving, and we can get in, doesn't have to be at the beginning, and we don't have to get out at the end. If we can capture this area right here, that's still a pretty good trade. So that's basically what got me into the Skechers. And again, it didn't move out. It didn't move as much as the other one, so I got in at 31.75, and I exited at 32.10. Now, just a word about Holly. Again, the non-exit profit column, so absolutely key. I did take one of the trades. It didn't, it worked out all right. ENDP. Let's just see, make sure. I want to get on a 15-minute. So here was the alert. Now, it got stopped out. All right, as many of the early Holly trades got stopped out, but I don't care anymore. I don't care how Holly actually performs from a statistical point of view, because again, they're getting stopped out for reasons. Now, if it gets hit like a stop hit, that's absolutely the reason to get out. On a time stop, we have somewhat arbitrary reasons to exit the trades based on time. Could be a 60-minute hold, could be a 30-minute hold, a 45-minute hold. But just because it gets time stopped out, it doesn't mean you should stop paying attention to the stock. But I'm digressing a little bit because ENDP actually did get, actually it was a time stop, okay? But I was watching this and I kept saying, okay, if these columns can start turning positive, in other words, if on the non-exit profit column, if this gets back to zero, because when it gets stopped out negatively, like the minus 12 would be minus 12, okay, that right at the time. But basically what you're looking for though is here's your trigger for this particular stock, 1378. So again, it got stopped out, but if it came back to the original entry price, why wouldn't we look at it again? We could say to ourselves, well, okay, statistically these are good strategies for today, but maybe Holly was just a little early in getting into them. So keep watching them. Now, I did not take the trade until it broke 14, and I took the trade at when it broke over 14, right about here, right in this area here, and it hit 1433. So again, I'm not saying this is spectacular, but nonetheless, it's the way in which to use the non-exit profit column to your advantage. You know, a lot of people. How many trades have we got so far today? Not an overwhelming amount, but you know, there are some days in which Holly will trigger 40 trades, and some of them are coming fast and furious. And I know people get very frustrated, like, what trades do I take? And, you know, how do I know which are the good ones and all of that? And I get that. And, you know, I'm not saying that you can't, you know, maybe cherry pick at the beginning, especially if the chart looks good. Maybe it's in a great sector, the market's good. I'm not saying you can't get into these trades at the beginning, but if you get a little flustered, then all you have to really do is wait for the positions to close. Most of them will close either on a time stop, or a stop hit, and then start following this column right here and seeing if they start turning around. You know, they got stopped out for a loss, but you know, this one now was stopped out for a loss of 25 cents. But now, since that original alert, it's, you know, this is actually a short. This is one of the unique ones. I think it was alerted twice, once as a long, once as a short. Different strategies. But hopefully, you know, you're understanding. If you have Holly, please don't just wait for me to say, okay, guys, you know, get into this one right now. You should be watching this column, and because what happens is that it starts to become a more manageable number of stocks to watch. And that's basically what I do. I mean, of course, I take plays from my options play. I do take other trades, but you know, this one is I'm finding is just fantastic if you watch this column. And sometimes, I mean, these things, you know, a little bit early. We've seen times where you know, profit of 21. You look at the non-exit at the end of the day, and it's like $3. It has just kept going. It's just that it got stopped out maybe on a time stop, and then after that, it really started taking off. So hopefully, I know it's a bit of a long-winded explanation, but I'll keep trying to hammer the point home because it's such an important column that we've got, probably the most important column that we have within Trade Ideas. All right, well, that is wrapping up this week. I want to thank everybody who took out orders for Trade Ideas. Much appreciated. Really helps the room. As you know, the room is free, and this really helps to fund the room and all. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. And again, this is a free room. I share my screen all day long, live on the mic between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern. If you want to take out a subscription, this is the link to use, and use the code HOLLY, HOLLY 11. Holly is in all caps, and that code will be good until 11:30 tonight Eastern Time, Friday night. It will not be good on the weekend. So if you try to do it on the weekend, it basically will not give you a discount. So everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you bright and early Monday morning. Again, I open the room at about 8:45. Bye-bye.